I once had a young family friend that went to college, then graduated, and was trying to get a job. He thought it would be easy, but 2 years later, he still didn't have one. He had been doing odd jobs, sleeping on people's couches, because he was too embarrassed to go home. At 24, he had a stroke from all the stress. The topic of stress is something that is more and more known, and it would be useful to know the effects and how to manage it. Stress is something a lot of us deal with, and some deal with it more than others. I know from my audience analysis that stress is a common thing that is experienced, but unfortunately, it affects a lot of people, and there are different types and levels people feel, and college students experience a lot of it. Today I will provide information on stress and its effects and ways to manage it. Let's first start with defining stress. Joanne Adler, writer of Stress Just Chill Out, said, "Stress is a physical and chemical response to any demand made upon it, and it involves good and bad things that happen to you." Experts say that the rise in stress in 2007 and every year after was due to the political changes along with usual and unusual stressors of everyday life. According to Jenny Graves in her article, "Stress Can Make You Stronger." Stress is a normal part of life and is typically broken down into two categories: acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress is a short-term stress, and the body is good at handling these episodes. Examples of acute stress are not getting enough sleep, being sick, criticism from your boss, fighting with your loved one. But if you constantly argue with your loved one or work for a toxic boss, these can turn into chronic stress, said Cindy Welch, a paramedic and occupational nurse at CHS McPherson Refinery. Now that we know the definition of stress and the kinds of stress, let's talk about its effects and some common warning signs of too much stress. According to Eleanor Ayer and Everything You Need to Know About Stress, these are some of the common causes of stress: families, peers, school, work, and relationships. Knowing the effects of stress is a good way to know when you need to take a break and relax. Cindy Welch, a paramedic and occupational nurse at CHS McPherson Refinery, says, "Some common warning signs of too much stress are short temper, trouble sleeping, upset stomach, aches and pains, not eating enough or overeating, feeling as though your life is out of control, forgetfulness, anger, anxiety, depression, headaches, decreased energy, lack of focus, and poor self-esteem." All of these things affect you physically and mentally, especially if you experience them over time and over again. More exposure to chronic stress, however, can trigger more serious health risk. The most experienced are these: depression, diabetes, hair loss, heart disease, hyperthyroidism, obesity and eating disorders, obsessive compulsive and other anxiety disorders, sexual dysfunction, tooth and gum decay from not being able to take care of yourself, ulcers, and even possibly cancer, said Michael Carney and Heather Hutchins in 50+1 Things and Tips for Handling Everyday Stress. Now that we know the effects and how to identify warning signs, I can inform you on ways to manage stress and help relieve it. According to Cindy Welch, a paramedic and occupational health nurse at CHS McPherson Refinery, improving your coping skills is a great way to help reduce stress, like getting plenty of exercise, doing yoga or deep breathing to keep you calm, belonging to an organization or religion for support, and trying to do things that you enjoy. Another way to look at managing stress is to acknowledge it, welcome it, and use it to fight back, said in the article "Stress Can Make You Stronger" by Jenny Graves. Following these steps may help you conquer stress or change your mind about the way you've been handling stress. According to Michael Carney and Heather Hutchins in 50+1 Tips for Handling Everyday Stress, tips to reduce stress are managing your time better, saying no, taking care of yourself, asking others for help, changing your response to stress, exercising, writing about it to get your emotions out, relaxing your body and mind through meditation and calming rituals. You now have the information to manage your stress and hopefully reduce it. So today, I informed you on stress, its effects on your body and mind, and ways to relieve and manage it. Now, go use the information to help you and other people you know be aware of the stress and the effects that come with it and lead a less stressful life. Because if you remember the story at the beginning of this speech, I told you about the family friend who was only 24 and had a stress-related stroke. Well, he did live. He was lucky to live, and it took him years and lots of help to even get back to a stable state. And to this day, he still isn't 100%. Being informed is your best tool, and I hope you are now informed and can go lead a less stressful life.